Situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Baltimore Ravens and the New York Jets. Greg Zuerlein now. He'll handle the honors to get us started. And off we go from MetLife Stadium. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Yeah, 1 for 1. A lot more to go. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Another run here with Dobbins. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. He's going to air one out. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. The Jets have Braxton Berrios back deep. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Wilson's throw going to be caught by Davis. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
In 2021, Corey Davis made the move from the Tennessee Titans to the New York Jets, but injuries limited him to only 9 games. When healthy, though, he had begun to show the promise that made him a top 5 pick by the Titans. A promising rep there, getting a 1st down.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Travis Jones makes a tackle.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's 2nd and 10. They go play action now. Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll run with Hall. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. No score after 1 on EA Sports. They go play action with Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And he will to bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown.
Well, it certainly looked to me like he tapped into the quarterback's thought process there. And what I'm hearing more and more when I go around the league, defenders sitting in on quarterback meetings trying to learn more about how they think so they can be in the right position to be in the right spot, as he was there to pick that one off and take it all the way back for a touchdown.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Taken at the 15, a short kick. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. He rifles one that's intercepted. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Out to his left. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. And worth pointing out, after that last completion, that puts this young quarterback over 10,000 yards passing for his career. And fair to say, he's not done yet.
No doubt about it. He's really just getting started because he's not quite into the prime of his career. So it's likely he's going to hit a few more of these milestones as this career progresses. So let's face it, we'll acknowledge this number, and we'll celebrate the milestones down the road.
Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 6. Jackson from the shotgun. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. He'll look to throw. That's taken in by Duvernay. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Ball again on 2nd down. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Play fake. Here's Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Calais Campbell finding his way home for the sack.
A 15-year career that's been aging like fine wine. Calais Campbell is one of the most respected players in the game. If he can get 6.5 sacks this season, that means he'll have 100 for his career.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Here's Wilson. Open man is Uzama. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. Dancing to his left. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Elsewhere on this Sunday in the NFL, they're in the 2nd quarter in Detroit. It's the Lions that have grabbed the early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down. Now it's Jackson. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Taken from about the 12.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half. The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Play action. It's Wilson. That's complete. It's Elijah Moore. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Play action. Now Wilson. Again, he finds Moore. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Throwing again here, Wilson. And he fires one incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Wilson. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
2nd and 10, third quarter of the season opener. Again, Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Moore. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide, because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you, because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it, because we don't know if we can get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities, because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough. Jackson on 1st down. He gets this underneath to Dobbins. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Following the delay, here's 2nd and 9. Jackson now. Targeting Dobbins again, and he's got it again. And some room to maneuver. There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken just shy of the 10. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And he'll go right back to Moore, complete again. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Wilson. He's got the connection to Moore. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. From the 41, Wilson got an open man. That's C.J. Uzama. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4. I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense, they've been stuck in neutral much of the game, and on that last play, they actually went in reverse. I just got a little like neutral, don't you? Yeah.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
That's Jermaine Johnson stopping that play before it begins, dropping him for a loss. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Play action. Now Jackson on the move to his left. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
The Ravens on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 14. Now Jackson. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now. Meanwhile, Wilson's throw complete there to Moore. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They go play action with Wilson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Calais Campbell in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection in their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they are silly, and that leads to a play action sack. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Little choice, Charles, but to go for it right there, and that pick 6 will be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you don't know how many more possessions you're going to get, so really you're almost at the point of no option. Have to go for it. Bottom line, though, is defenders know that as well. They know you've got to throw the football. Had the right defense call, able to make a nice play on the ball, and that's all she wrote.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Pulls it in at the 13.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Straight ahead is Hall. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And that'll be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Now Wilson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Breece Hall with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Jets are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Now, this opening game has certainly not gone their way to this point, but, yeah, that touchdown may be a glimmer of hope for the long season ahead.
And no one in this league likes to talk about moral victories. No one likes to really just say, okay, well, maybe something went right. But you're exactly right about that. A little glimmer there. Maybe they can carry it over moving forward.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this has been quite a performance to kick off the new year on the road, no less, as they try to finish things off here in the 4th quarter. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The drive will start with an option going left. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
They're going for it with Dobbins. And trying to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short. And he is short. He needed 2. He only got 1. And the Jets are going to get the football back.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Now Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Throwing now is Wilson. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Justin Matabike coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up